Hey everybody, hope all is well. This is Jeff at Ride the Wave podcast. It's just me, and you may notice the audio quality being a little less. And the reason for that is I just popped out my phone because I met somebody that's really great. And one of the things that we're going to do sometimes, guys, for people that we may not be able to get to the studio or where it makes sense for us to do it more local, we're going to be doing it locally in a library. So right now I just popped out my phone and I have Richard with us right now. And Richard is somebody that I had met at Starbucks, and we had connected through Heather and Jose, and the wave keeps going. He's a great guy. Robert, excuse me. I apologize. What's your last name, Robert? Herrera. Sorry about that, guys. But Robert is somebody that has a very unique perspective. I really appreciate his view. I'm glad that he's here to share the story of his life with you guys. So, Robert, again, thank you for being on. I appreciate you. And if you could start off just talking a little bit about where you're from, your life.
Let's see. I am from Elizabeth, New Jersey, and I was born with hydrocephalus, which is water on the brain. I became emancipated when I was 15, and I joined the Army when I was 17. I have 7 kids, 23 grandkids. When my mother passed away, which I was taking care of, I came to Morristown after being in the hospital, and I've been here ever since March. Now, I came here basically because there's more resources here for me where I can get better help than I would in Union County. And being here in Morristown, I also made a lot of friends. And I have not only made friends with, some of the actual homeless people, but I also made friends with business owners as well as policemen and also security and parking meter guys. The thing about Morristown I noticed is the acceptance of people from other places that come here. Mm-hmm. And but there are certain issues or whatever. I feel lack of shelters and stuff like that here, but there are help to, as for meals and stuff like that, there is help where you can get meals and stuff. One of them is Nourish, that you can go anywhere between 11 and 2.
Nourish, and that's in Morristown?
It's in Morristown.
Oh, thank you for that. Yeah.
They actually do meals for lunches. Market Street Mission does breakfast and dinner here.
Mm-hmm. Market Street Mission guys.
Yeah,
yep.
They do it 7 days a week. And there is Salvation Army as well here, which helps. They will actually help with hotel for 7 days if you need that kind of service. They will put you up for 7 days in the hotel over at Red Carpet Inn on Route 10. Then there's Homeless Solutions, mm-hmm. which they put you on the waiting list, but you get in there, it's like a shelter. Market Street, they give you a certain amount of days per month and 30 days per year that you can stay there. Get showers 9 to 11 every day at Market Street Mission.
Yeah.
But they also do programs such as AA, NA, and they also do church services on the weekend as well. Mm-hmm. So they're good and helping people. If you're hungry or if you need somebody who probably give you a little guidance or whatever towards the next step or trying to get help. Now, the other place that I like to mention is Our Promise, which is down Washington Street. Mm-hmm. Our Promise opens 11 to 3 every day. And they help you with everything from mailing address to help you get ID, transportation if you need it. They also help with signing up for SNAP or general assistance if you need that. And they will help you with toiletries or whatever, but they also help with socks, underwears, shirts, pants.
That's great. Shout out to Our Promise, guys. Morristown, really great organization.
They are great, and They are very friendly people. They are very friendly, and they do as well as, sometimes they have lunch. Sandwiches from Wawa. I mean, our promise is where I go daily, Monday through Friday, and they actually do help me with mailing address and stuff like that. When I first got here, I didn't even know about it, most of these services until other people were mentioning, which are actually homeless people. Homeless people were actually leading me on to different services here. Now, there is a program to the church next to the library here that is Joe's Closet, where they actually do clothing bank. Every second Saturday, they do clothing bank right next door.
Okay.
And they actually will give you clothes if you can fit them for free. You get your free clothes. However, Market Street Mission, they will actually give you a voucher where you can go to their thrift store and buy stuff they give you a $20 voucher for clothes or whatever at their thrift store, which will help, get you maybe a pair of pants, a shirt, whatever that you could use,
Oh, that's great. Yeah. There's such valuable resources for people to know how to navigate. And I'm learning too, so thank you for that.
The library, Robert, here in Morristown, they're very friendly people, but they will also set you on the other paths that you can, get in touch with other people. They actually have numbers that you can call or whatever.
Do you feel like there's any gaps, or if so, what may they be?
Community outreach, and I find that sometimes in Morristown there's community outreach where if you're trying to get help, sometimes it's hard to get help if some of these programs are limited on resources, and there are quite a few places here where at the middle of the month their resources are eaten up. Oh, by the way, there is another place called Bethel Church.
Bethel Church, guys.
Bethel Church, they do dinners Monday through Friday, and they have really, really good food. They do. But
nice.
Bethel also does drug and alcohol counseling as well. And they are real good as pertaining to clothing and stuff like that. Sometimes they have their tables set up where you can get clothes over there.
Oh, nice.
Across the street from where a couple doors down from Taco Arena on South Street is a place that actually does AA, NA on Sunday and Saturday. So there's another resource over here for AA and NA.
Yeah, that's good.
Community outreach over here. I find that more and more homeless are out on the street, but they have very limited places they can actually go. Because after you use up the days in Market Street, and there's no really other shelter but Market Street that you can stay at. Mm-hmm. So after them 7 days are up.
Do you know how many people could stay there? Jacob said it once he was on the show.
I
can't remember exactly how many people are able to stay there at a time. I remember it not being many, though.
28, I believe, was the max that we had.
And that may not be, guys, an accurate number. We could be mistaking. No. But if you guys check out Jacob at Market Street Mission, I can't remember what episode that was. There is a mention of that, I believe. But it wasn't really much. All things with the homeless people that are on the street.
Not now, because they have a lot of pre-programmers there.
And is it men only? So would women?
Men only.
So women who are homeless.
Yeah, they're pretty much out of luck unless they go to social services, because Market Street only takes men only, and that's the way it is. Mm-hmm. And but dinner-wise, when they go for the meals, anybody can come. Anybody. Women, children, whatever.
Do you feel like when you're trying to navigate resources or applications with phones and things like that, that it's difficult that it's hard to get on lists and maybe go to the right sites and read things and pamphlets? Does that confuse
because
you at all?
The Homeless Solutions, their waiting list is ridiculous. If you try to get on their waiting list, they're talking about maybe 8 months to a year before you actually get in Homeless Solutions, unless you have a special certain situation or case that comes up. Because I know people that have been on their waiting list over a year and still have yet to get in there.
Yeah, it's been actually through connections in the community. I've heard 3 or a couple as well. So I think it goes pretty far. I wonder how that list.
It's a big list for
Right.
a waiting list. But like vet service, we have vet service. Vet service at City Hall down the street. They will help vets. Try to get their self.
Appreciate your service, by the way, Robert.
Oh yeah,
really do. Is there any way, if you're comfortable with it and cool with it, would you be able to share just a little bit about your life and how and difficult it is in the street, but like how you kind of came about there, and especially a lot of times, I think, Robert, it's not out there in shows like this where somebody who's a veteran actually does share their experience. If you were willing to, from as far back as you remember, to open up about that, it would be amazing. But if not, that's cool too.
My mother, she had cancer, and I took care of her for a long time. I did about 14 years. And when she passed away, I was left with no place to go. I have siblings, but none of them would take me in. Nobody would help me. Most of my kids were deployed at the time I became homeless. And lately they've been coming back from, being deployed. Whereas my one daughter in California has been wanting to take me to California to get out of their situation for the longest. For the last couple of weeks, she's been talking about California. However, here in Morristown, I have a lot of positive notes. I am on the up and up for Section 8, so I'm actually trying to get an apartment right now. Also, I have an EBT card, but I also have general assistance. But as for my life, when my mother died, I became homeless. So I really didn't have nowhere to go. And I've been homeless in Jersey since 2021. And I've been everywhere from Elizabeth to East Orange, Orange, New Brunswick, Morristown, Morris Plains, Summit, Newark, Jersey City, Hoboken, Edison, Metuchen, and I also been to as far south as Trenton and Camden. And it's just...
And I just want to real quick to you guys, the audience, just say that this is a veteran. Robert served our country, and somebody going through the experience of being bounced around so much and in a situation, I think that value-wise, we're a little bit better than that, and there's some gaps to be filled in with Wave Transportation coming up. Wavemaker mentorship is also working, and I think also this kind of proves the vision for us and where we want to get to the university, all-inclusive, and how important it is to utilize the principles of being humane, And I think I mentioned before, Javon's not with us because we're doing this on the fly, I believe, but I'm sure he would be, deeper on this and agree because, I feel like, so because, Robert, you're in a situation like that, VA-wise or services, like there's nobody that comes in and scoops you out, or do you get a social worker, or does the VA, do you add benefits?
Well, occasionally, if I really, 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 really need somewhere to go, I will call VA, and they will actually put me in a hotel, but it's only for one day or whatever, a week. And it's very limited with them too. However, they have sent me all the way to Rockaway, as far as Parsippany. They even sent me one time all the way to, Denville. Denville. and Hackettstown. They actually sent me to Hackettstown one time to a hotel. But it's only for like a day or so. Then they bring me back. And here I am back again in the same situation in Morristown, where I'm trying to figure out what to do, how to go about, getting something to help me. I have, I have Jewish people here that are members of a college for the Jews, and they actually come every Friday, and they actually help me with a box of food. They actually feed me, and it's led by one guy named Eliezer, who actually comes over here, talks to me, tries to get me into Jewish beliefs, because my mother's side is actually Jewish, but my father's side is Cuban. But because my mother's Jew, I'm a Jew, and that's how they work it. So
it's very kind of them.
Yeah, I mean, they also look at, they hate the fact that I'm in a situation I am now, and sometimes a few nights a week I actually stay at the Jewish college, and they actually let me stay in the bed over there. So,
oh, that's great.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
because
that's
I can
nice.
take showers and stuff like that over there anyway. But
it seems to me like it's nice that people want, and people innately are good with that and want to help, but almost the system's bouncing people around, because have you experienced anything where you were in between shelters and you were out there, but you did get in trouble for being somewhere as well? Like, have you been fined, or has anybody pressed up against you because
I have been told certain places I wasn't allowed to be at.
Okay. In the evening too?
Early morning, evening, whatever the case is.
Okay.
I mean, Elizabeth, you're not allowed to be at the train station after a certain time unless you have a ticket. And the train station in Elizabeth, they close at a certain time. Morristown here, they're very good on telling people not to be in certain spots. I mean, I have seen people at the train station here in Morristown be told they have to leave or they're going to get locked up for being in a train station.
Yeah, and guys, like, I'm talking to the audience again. I think that it's something where I get it, right? Crime in certain aspects of Morristown are, coming in where there's money, there's businesses, there are things that are happening within the community that are good. But I also think that, and it's important to have clean streets and make sure that there's, certain areas that are a certain way and safe. However, not having an opening, or what Robert's going through, and not having a place, or just making people leave like that. We have to, and I don't think it's really malicious or anything like that. I think it's just turns into something like this. So I think if we took another a different approach with it, and really had a different solution and empower people from the inside out of the community, with servant leadership and conscious leadership and things like that, it would be, the way to at least shift over and try something new. Just to give you guys an idea, and me expanding more on the thoughts on the foundation. But Robert, I mean, this is bringing out all sorts of stuff, my man. I appreciate you continuing to share your stuff.
I have seen people get tickets for the post office here. I've seen people get tickets for the Green here, the train station. I have actually seen people get kicked out of being at the library after a certain time. And I mean, there's just, even over there by the ER, you're not allowed to sit over there at the bus stop after a certain time.
Yeah. Picture this, guys. You are, for whatever reason, you might have safety nets in your life, whatever finances that are keeping you up, or what if things went awry, or whatever happened, because it could happen to anybody. It could happen to me. And you were on the streets, and you didn't have access if you take mental health medications or anything like that, and you were hungry, and you were tired, and you were low, and you were expected to be at these places and these resources at certain times, and you can't get there without any transportation, and they tell you to leave after a week at a hotel, regardless of the reasons, regardless of why. That just if we could put each other in their shoes, or somebody's shoes, because this is a different style of life than me, and then you're getting fined and kicked out, and people are looking down on you in town. and you're told you got to leave places, but you have nowhere really to go because the shelters are closed and everything. It's trapping people and it's suppression. So I don't really, I think that it's an opportunity here with somebody's story like Robert, and we'll have more, because this is right now when we're going to be really talking to people, as we are now developing the Wave mentorship program in town, slowly, behind the scenes. So, Robert's opening up a great knowledge of not only resources, but just how it is in his life and what it really is, making good points on how it is. So if you're not, and you're not healthy too, you're not eating properly because inflation, whatever government assistance you're getting is not nearly enough with inflation. So how do you buy stuff? It's such a, thing that I think it's our responsibility in the community to do something about it. And it's really going to come by empowering people from the inside out and from us. That's just, from my perspective. But Robert, again, thank you so much for everything you're doing, buddy. And a veteran too. I mean, come on, guys.
I do have a couple people I actually talk to here who are actually homeless as well, and their stories are, they've been in some similar situations, but they've been in more extreme situations than I have, and I talked to them, and there's a guy named Andy. He just went to Asbury Park, but he was in the hospital for about a week and a half, but he had cancer. And this guy is 69 years old. Why is he on the street? Why is he out with, nowhere to go, nobody even looking after him? And if it wasn't for me and my cousin out at Starbucks, he would have never been able to go to the hospital. They took him to the hospital. He had a fever of 102. And I question the fact that if social services or whatever was really doing their job, this guy would not be on the street at 69 years old. He should be in the nursing home or somewhere, assisted living. And yet this guy, while he was in the hospital, somebody went and stole his sleeping bag, but they also stole all his personal effects, his clothes.
Seems to me, it's just from my perspective, that everything going on in the world is due to us not respecting the very top commandment, which is to love thy neighbor, love the person next to us. And Robert makes a great point to walk past somebody and not see them. And somebody that's elderly like that, there was a woman that was in T-Mobile when I was in there. Shout out to T-Mobile. They've been a great partner for us as we're in the early project, Dignity Project, which you guys could check out on Facebook. And there was a woman there that wasn't feeling well, and she was older. And she was diabetic, I found out after asking her questions. Got her an orange juice at 7-Eleven. It's very important to step up. And let's not forget why we're here. It's because that barrier was broken with Daryl. When I checked on him, there was an energy to it. The path is to the person. And it's not technology. We're too distracted. And, it's life or death. And it's our communities, too. We want our kids to be walking around and be more susceptible to things like this because it's up to the community. It's like if there was an alarm, Robert, that I had that could sound it off. It is up to us, because we're, what the problem is, and I get it, I've been only doing this for 3 years, but on that other side, it is me, what I got with my family, things like that. So it's important that we reach out humanely.
I have seen so many people walk past this guy and not help him. But here, me and my cousin helped him. I'm homeless, my cousin ain't, but if it wasn't for our help, this guy would have never got to the hospital.
Yeah.
Or us calling, because I've seen so many people just walk by him.
Yeah.
And ignore him.
Yeah.
Because he was a homeless guy.
And you know what? Having money or having high-end places doesn't mean anything. I got to say that I know people that have a lot of money, and they're great people, and they contribute in major ways and bring love So that really is just a product of, but I think it really comes down to distractions and us being a little bit more selfish. And I can understand that too. People want to protect their families and be in their lane. And then other people, I think Javon made this point, they're just in their lane and it's not their problem. Some people feel like, like it's not, somebody else could deal with it. These days, if somebody's getting attacked, somebody's able to take out the phone and watch it rather than step in to protect somebody. It's like, what are our priorities,
Well, I was always taught, I always held a belief, being Jewish, help your fellow man. And if you don't help your fellow man, how can you help yourself? Because you never know. This guy might be the only one who ever has somebody to talk to, and you might be the only person that talks to them all day. However, in certain situations, if I try to help everybody I come across. I really do it as much as I can, to what I can. I have limited stuff myself, but I don't mind helping somebody here and there, once in a while. But it's just a lot of people that I see that walk past these homeless people or whatever, they totally ignore them because of the way they are, the way they dress.
Look different, way they dress.
Yeah, I mean, it's like totally ignoring the fact that...
I'll tell you what, though. If people wanted to blow their minds, they should cross that threshold and start to, through the principles of Waymaker, like soft greeting, opening up. If you guys check out Tide Talks on Facebook, too. All those, like, eye contact, soft greeting, chest open, also speaking to somebody like they're a human being. Like, there's a formula to it as well. And when you open that up, at least for me, it opens up to knowledge too that I didn't know existed, like almost like a supercomputer. It's like being connected to God, essentially. It gets you closer if you're somebody of faith too. I fully respect the Old Testament. I also am a Christian, so Jesus, I think, with obey or, love thy neighbor really ties into that same thing there. I mean, but that's at top. And look at when they do that, how that makes you feel. And you're a giving person. It's what we're not, I think we're just missing that little thing of acting it out.
We have Proverbs, okay? Proverbs in the Bible.
I love Proverbs.
Okay? There's one passage. Walk a day in my shoes, and you totally understand my discontent. And walking a day in my shoes here in Morristown, you would totally see a different side of Morristown that a lot of people didn't know existed. There are so many people that look down on homeless people, look down on the poor here in Morristown. They are. And I sit sometimes on the bench and watch them. Look. Now, mind you, a few days ago, I used to have longer hair. I used to have a full beard. I look totally different.
Yeah, you're looking good, my man.
I shaved.
Handsome devil.
I cut my hair. I got a totally different response from people around here because I changed my image.
But on the flip side, though, and I'm just going to say this, Robert, where we go neighborhood-wise, sometimes, like if I'm going to go to somewhere for work and if it's a trade show, I'm going to have a work polo on, I'm going to fit, like sometimes certain areas, there are like pre-expectations of dress, certain things like that. And Morristown is kind of bougie now. I'm actually not liking it too much. I grew up in Persephone. I came here all my life when Jimmy's was here, like going way back in the day. So for me, Morristown is a little bit, there is a little bit of bougie to it. No offense to anybody specifically, but like what you're saying as far as walking past, it's a good way for us to kind of segue out too. I guess my last question for you, Robert, with this is if people showed you more compassion and love and really encouraged you more, how do you think that would change your life?
It wouldn't, because of the fact that certain things and certain people who are homeless, who are poor, don't want nobody to feel bad or pity on them because of the way we have, some of us, we have pride.
Do you think that comes from a broken trust?
Yes.
Do you think that there's a deep trust issue in the community and that they feel like they'll get hurt if they let people in?
If they let somebody in or break that shell, maybe they will feel as if they're easily taken or easily manipulated. And, you know, if out here in the street, I have kept a really hard shell of who I let in or who I talk to or how I act towards certain people.
Yeah.
And I have to be that way because of the lifestyle out here or the street smarts, okay?
Sure. Yeah.
Because if I let somebody in too easy, how do I know they're not going to take advantage of it?
It could be a scam or something.
Scam.
Yeah.
I have seen them do other people in scams here. I have seen them take advantage of other people. The reason why they were doing what they did at the train station the last couple of days was there was a lady that was attacked at the train station.
Yes.
That is why they're kicking people out of the train station, because of that lady got attacked.
Right.
And I have not fully heard all the details of what had transpired, but
I do think, though, we shouldn't punish everybody around for one person's action. You know, I think it's important to be, I'm somebody that personally feels like if you commit a crime like that there should be punishment and there should be a rule of law, moral law, that should be enforced. I mean, that's just something that if you take something from somebody or you try to stab them, you should be reprimanded for that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of, could agree on that. But the problem is if one person acts out of line, that's that one person. You can't put that all on everybody else. So I think that it's a little bit misdirected there. And clearly Robert is saying that there's such a broken trust, which I get, and that's what I've been hearing too. So you have a lack of resources, sometimes mental health challenges, maybe drugs, alcohol, mixed in with people kicking them out. What would you do in that situation? I mean, really, think about it. That sounds like hell in a sense. I mean, I can't. I just want to thank you, Robert. You know, willing to hear for being on and sharing your story. I think you're street smart, and I learned just in this half hour a lot. So if you ever wanted to in the future expand on the story when Javon is with us, maybe even come to the studio or something. We'd love to have you. Guys, we're brought to you by 100% Chiropractic in Rockaway, by the way. Check them out. You have one last thing you want to say, Robert, or are you good to go?
I'm good to go.
Guys, thank you for riding the wave with us. Like I said, I'm not going to lie, I left it on my car, but the little mics that go on my collar so I can put it on people so the sound quality will be better. But hopefully in your car you can tune up the volume. I'm not sure. You guys take care. Thanks for riding the wave. Be good. Peace.